Hey, what is up guys? About a fortnight ago I put up this nice lovely Yosenju playing against about 4 other decks, which has apparently got 200 views, and someone's actually asked for me to put the deck list up, as well as people at regionals that have seen it have asked me to put up a deck list so they can know what it is, potentially net deck, and basically win with this, because this deck is actually now really competitive, and since Shining Victories is coming out, I believe in a week, you will have full access to this deck, so all hail the Yosenju players. So enough of that, get into the deck profile. So to start off with, 2 Karma 2s, this is basically just to attack your opponent directly and to get more monsters on board. That's the only reason I run it. Another reason, 3 Karma 1s, because it just bounces back everything that your opponent's got, unless you're playing against Cosmos, which this is then bad against Cosmos because you can't target their ships. But against most things, it's really good. And if you've got macro on the board, it's even better if you bounce back exceeds. 3 Karma 3s, because it searches for any Yosenju that you need. Mostly I end up using it to search for Karma 1s, because being able to have multiple Karma 1s on the field is just too good. Futotskar or something like that, I don't know. I probably just butchered that card's name, but this is mainly to beef up your Karma 2s so that they can do more damage to your opponent directly. I don't tend to use them for its discard effect, I mainly use it for its field presence effect. 2 L's, because for the sole reason, Torrential is a problem, and if your opponent flips up Torrential, you cry. So having this on board and having it stop Torrential is like the best thing for you. Then 2 of the new Ghost Ogre, or Floating Ogre, or whatever they want to call it, because it's probably going to get changed before Shining Victories is officially released. But basically what you do with this is you reveal a card from your extra deck if you control less monsters than your opponent, and then you banish all copies of that card from your opponent's extra deck. Now this is like really good, because if your opponent's playing Burning Abyss and they summon monsters or go first and summon something, you can just reveal this, get rid of all the Dantes, and then just watch them cry, because officially Beatrice is dead to them and they've got no way of getting Dante back. And the only reason I run it at 2 is because you don't necessarily need to banish loads of things from your opponent's extra deck. You only need to basically banish 1 or 2 cards, and then their extra deck is kind of crappy, to be honest. 2 Effect Veiler, this is mainly against Monarchs, because getting Aethia plays off is really annoying. It's still a really big problem to deal with Aethia, so having this is like really good. 2 Dark Hole, I wish I could run the Regeki, but I don't have the room, and if I need to explain Dark Hole, then please put down this video and walk away slowly. 3 Card of Demise, because this deck doesn't care, because basically what you do is you summon everything, attack, then play a Card of Demise, because your opponent doesn't take any damage for the rest of the turn. So if they've already taken damage, then this is even better. So they take damage, then as you basically play Card of Demise, and it's the end of your turn, you get to resolve it however you want. So basically you resolve Card of Demise, ditching the 0 cards that you should have in hand, and then bouncing all your Yosenjus back to your hand for later. 3 Pot of Duality, because Yosenjus ran this card since the day was not. 2 Tenkeys, I don't need the 3rd, because once I've got Karma 3 on the board, it's just like free searching for anything that I need. 1 Dim Fissure, because it hurts every deck, but this one, to an extent, it doesn't hurt Cosmo, but if they lose their big ships and they get banished straight away, it does hurt the deck quite a bit. 3 Rippling Mirror Force, because this card is so good. If your opponent declares a direct attack, shuffle all attack position monsters your opponent controls into the deck. Now, I'm not planning on having monsters on the field, so they're going to be afraid to attack me directly, so this card becomes really good. 1 Torrential, because I don't have monsters, so it's more or less like second Dark Hole. 2 Lose 1 turn, I would put it up to 3, except then I'd kind of end up debating with myself, seeing if I actually need 3 Lose 1 turn to make this deck good, but Lose 1 turn just like slows down my opponent's players, and with Karma 1 on the field, it's just bouncing back anything that they special, so it's amazing. 1 Macro, if Macro was at 3, you wouldn't see me running D-Fissure, I'd be running this. 3 Goes and Match, because against a lot of things, this card is like really good, because Burning Abyss, they don't really run Dark Exceeds except for Breaksword, so it forces them to go into Breaksword before the Dante, because if I flip this up while I've got Burning Abyss on the field, they can't summon Dante, Beatrice, or anything. And if they've already got a Dante on the field, they kind of lose out because they've only got the Dante. They can't do anything else, so it kind of wins. 2 secret moves because having a version of Solemn Judgment is actually really, really good. And then 1 Solemn 1 because it's solemn, it doesn't need explaining. Now the extra deck is more, this isn't like an extra deck that you need to pick specifically to make this deck work. It's more of what is meta at the time, because the extra deck is only like 4 of these cards I'm going to summon in like 20 odd matches. I'm only going to summon 4 of these cards, which is probably going to be Castell, Chidori, Emerald, and Cowboy. I ain't going to summon anything else in here, potentially 101, but that's about it. Everything else is just there for the Ghost Ogre. So depending what's meta at the time, depends on what you run, because it's for Ghost Ogre fodder. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe as always, and there will be a link down below in the description box to the previous video where you get to see me massacre some decks with Yosenjus. Ciao!